written by American novelist and screenwriter George R.R. Martin. Martin began the first volume of the series, A Game of Thrones, in 1991. He published it in 1996. Martin gradually extended his originally intended trilogy to 7 volumes, the 5th of which, A Dance with Dragons, took him 5 years to write before its publication in 2011. Martin's work on his 6th, The Winds of Winter, is still underway. The story of A Song of Ice and Fire takes place on the fictional continents Westeros and Essos, with a history of thousands of years. The point of view of each chapter in the story is a limited perspective of an assortment of characters that grows from 9, in the first, to 31 by the 5th novel. 3 predominant stories interweave: a dynastic war among several families for control of Westeros, the rising threat of the dormant cold supernatural others dwelling beyond an immense wall of ice on Westeros' northern border, and the ambition of Daenerys Targaryen, the exiled daughter of a king murdered in a civil war shortly before her birth, to return to Westeros with her fire-breathing dragons and take the Iron Throne, which is apparently hers by right. Martin defied the conventions of the high fantasy genre by drawing upon such historical events as the Wars of the Roses. A Song of Ice and Fire received favorable critique for its diverse portrayal of women and religion, and praise for favoring realism over magic in its battles and political intrigue. While the first novel contains hardly any magic at all, the prominence of magic grows in the later volumes. The assortment of disparate, subjective, and not always accurate points of view confronts the reader with a variety of perspectives on each of the other characters from one chapter to the next. The reader may not safely presume that a favorite prominent character will prevail, or even survive. Violence, sexuality and moral ambiguity frequently arise among a set of over 1,000 named characters. Though initially published without great fanfare, the books have sold more than 24 million copies in North America alone as of September 2013, and have been translated into more than 20 languages. The 4th and 5th volumes reached the top of the New York Times bestseller lists upon their releases. Among the many derived works are 3 prequel novellas in a series and another further historical prequel, the HBO TV series Game of Thrones, a comic book adaptation, and several card, board, and video games. Plot synopsis. The story of A Song of Ice and Fire takes place in a fictional world where seasons last for years, contributing to the circumstances.